What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going over the results of UFC Kansas City and Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. And yeah, let's get right into it. First things first, I'm sure you'll notice I didn't make a pick video for this card. That's because honestly I got a little bit lazy during the week. I was doing some other stuff and I didn't really want to sit in front of the camera and yap about fights. But I will go over my picks. I had picked Garry and Anthony Smith to win. Obviously I was wrong about Anthony Smith, but I was very much right about Garry. We're only going to cover the co-main and main event for this video. I don't want to sit and talk about Randy Brown. So obviously let's start with Anthony Smith and Zang. That just didn't go the way... It went the way I thought it would go, but that's not what I bet on. I had placed a $20 parlay on Anthony Smith to win via submission and Garry to win via TKO/KO. It would have netted me about $800, but it did not go that way. I kind of knew Zang would get Anthony out of there in the first round. I mean, if there's anybody that we could expect to be taken out in the first round via TKO and curling up, it's Anthony Smith. But I don't want to shit on Anthony Smith too much. I think he gets way too much hate and people are really forcing the dislike of him. I don't get it. I mean, I kind of understand he's a little bit of a cornball and things of that nature, but I mean, you know how many fucking fighters are? I would take an Anthony Smith over a guy cringily going, "Let's just bleed," any day of the week. I think he's a well-spoken guy. And, you know, he's really game. He's always down to fight, and he takes things on the chin very well. Not literally, but with all the shit that's being said about him on social media, he probably could have quit long ago. But he hasn't, so... props to him, and I'm excited to see more of him on ESPN, but I'm sure Connor won't be too happy about that, so.
Get this off my telly now!
I gotta throw in there as well, Zang, I was not familiar with your game. That promo he cut at the end was fucking cool, man. I love it when fighters really lean into the boos. They're like, "Fuck you, crowd," or like, "Let me hear it again," blah, 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 blah. I love all that. I'm a mark for it, so... yeah, that was really cool of him. I didn't even know he could speak English like that. That was very, very solid. I completely understood everything, and, you know, probably just a little bit more practice with his English, he could be real good. But something I do have to say is he got cracked a couple times by Anthony Smith, and that's kind of concerning. At their stages in their career, I mean, Zang did get him out in the first round, but he shouldn't have been touched, like, at all. There was a couple times where I really felt like we could have seen Anthony Smith maybe drop him with like a slick uppercut or something. I don't know. There was just a couple of those exchanges where for a split second there, I thought Anthony was going to get him out. But as we all know, ultimately that did not happen, and it was a good win for Zang, and I'm excited to see who he fights next. Now we are on to the main event. Machado Garry taking on Carlos Prates, and I'm sure you guys already know by now. I doubt I'm spoiling this for you, but Carlos Prates got fucking washed by Garry. And you know what? I had kind of called this from the start. I didn't make a video on it, but if you follow me over on Twitter at SockOnDsLive, you'll see I was calling it from the jump. The second they announced this, that Garry was going to wash Prates. They were just completely two different skill sets. And yes, I get it. Prates is older. He has the power, and he has hundreds of Muay Thai fights. But that's not MMA. And Garry's IQ, his speed, his bounciness, his slickness, he was just a better overall fighter. Prates didn't look terrible in there, especially in those later rounds, but we'll get to that. He just looked like he didn't know what to do, like a deer in headlights. Garry was just too quick. I don't want to say too strong, too quick and slick. That's what Garry was. Obviously, we have to talk about that fourth and mainly that fifth round. In the fourth round, Prates came out a lot more aggressive, pushing the pace, but I would still give it to Garry. There were a couple moments in that round where Prates looked like he could have landed a nasty shot, but especially the kick, but Garry was really slick in there. That lean back for the kicks from Prates was pretty nice in my opinion. But that fifth round is really where we saw Garry's chin get tested and Prates' true finishing ability in those championship rounds get tested as well. I'm not 100% sure what happened there. Garry got cracked by something. No. It was a takedown. Garry went for a takedown, and Prates reversed it and threw Garry to the ground. And on the ground, Prates started fucking ground and pounding the shit out of him. He landed some nasty shots. And it looked like Garry kind of got stunned a bit. He was a little frozen. He was scrambling. And you know what? I've been seeing Prates get a lot of hate why didn't he finish Ian Garry? What is he doing? This guy's fucking dumb, blah, blah, blah. But you got to understand, Garry just spent the last 4 rounds absolutely fucking dominating him. He was putting the beats on him. There were some hard shots that Garry landed earlier on that I feel like would have put down any other welterweight. And yes, I know Garry isn't known for having his insane power, but some of those shots he landed earlier were very hard for even Garry's standards. Like, they were just hard shots, and Prates fucking ate him. Yeah, I mean, Prates just took way too much damage. He was too tired. He had already given out too much to really seek out that finish. You know, he couldn't finish. He couldn't pull through. On the other side of the coin, we have to talk about Garry as well, because I'm seeing people trying to shit on Garry, saying that, oh, he's pillow-fisted and that a round 6 Prates would have finished him. First of all, there is no round 6. These are 5-round fights, okay? If pigs had wings, they would fly. That's the kind of logic that is. And second, the only way Garry got fucking hurt was because he had spent the last 4 rounds fucking dominating Prates. He got a little bit tired and Prates got caught. Sorry, Prates got him. Garry, after the fight, also said he was a little stunned, but he was fully aware. He just kept trying to keep moving because he knew it would be harder for Prates to hit a guy that's keeping on moving, and that he wasn't really hurt. And you know what? I believe him. He was in control of that entire fight. Even at the end of the 5th, he threw that crazy Mortal Kombat spinning low leg kick. I do believe Garry that he wasn't fully hurt and that he was just trying to keep moving. If anything, I would say he was just gassed and tired. And that's not a knock to his gas tank. He has great cardio. It's just the fact he spent the last 15-20 minutes styling on Carlos Prates without any type of resistance. It was just kind of going ham on a heavy bag. Another thing I'm seeing here too is people are saying Prates should have went out aggressive from the start and he could have knocked Ian Garry out in the first round. But what you guys aren't understanding is that that's what he tried to do. Ian Garry just wouldn't let him do it. Prime for prime, full energy. Ian Garry is just so much better than Prates, to the point where Prates only has a puncher's chance against a gassed Ian Garry. Obviously, this is a massive blow to the Fighting Nerds build-up and their vibe, their aura. They are no longer undefeated, even though they technically never were since Bruno Brazil. But you know what? I do think we need to cut Prates some slack. This was such a big jump in competition. I mean, there was honestly never a world where he was going to win this. Ian Garry just went to war with the boogeyman of the division, Shavkat Rakhmonov. And if you don't think Prates could have done that, you shouldn't have expected him to win this fight. Because Garry has shown he can recover good, and he has a chin, a great IQ, really slick striker, and he'll make it boring if he needs to win. Prates just wasn't going to get past that. Regardless, there's a lot of interesting 170 fights for him still. I would love to see him take on Buckley after Buckley beats Usman and after Prates maybe gets another win under his belt. That would be a beautiful build-up and a real fun fight. But there's still pathways for Prates to get to a title here, although I will say losing to Ian Garry is going to be rough. Because if Ian Garry isn't a future champ, he's probably going to be a perpetual title contender, and it's going to be hard to overlook this domination of a victory by Ian Garry if we want Prates to ever get pushed to a belt. Prates has a great team around him, a proper team. His takedown defense looked really good, honestly, so I don't think he has to worry in that area. He needs to go more. He needs some better defense, maybe better head movement, because he was getting fucking cracked in there. But yeah, I mean, Ian Garry just masterclassed him. He really, really did. I mean, maybe it's not fair to say masterclass considering the end of the 5th round, but Garry whooped his ass, guys. Garry whooped his ass. That is going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. It was just a real quick, short video. This weekend, we got another great fight night. Deiveson Figueiredo taking on Corey Sandhagen. I am going to be uploading my picks video probably late Tuesday, early Wednesday, so make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for that. Follow me over on Twitter at SockOnDsLive. I live tweet every single UFC event, even if I don't make a video for it. So last event, I was tweeting out for every fight, so make sure to follow me over there and talk shit to me over there. And comment down below, what was your favorite fight of the night? Do you think Garry versus Prates was boring? I saw a lot of people saying it was. I completely disagree, but comment down below what you think. What was your favorite fight? Who deserved the bonus? Let me know. And yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, guys. See you.